probably a blanket or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't want to waste your time either.
I got nothing to do. I don't know about them.
This is building a stronger bayanihan. Thank you for your attention. See? My name is Emilio Sese, and believe it or not, I've been planning events for like over 10 plus years. And this goes back to, this little guy. This is me when I was like 13. And I was very privileged to have access to a lot of like Nerf guns and toys. So I would always invite my friends over to like come and play games that I would create. So like it was like you guys play like Valorant or something like deathmatch. It's like any kind of like gun game. I would put like Nerf guns around my house. They'd have to find them and like reload and stuff. And shoot each other. It's pretty sick.
That's sick.
I'd create like Lego like cities for them just like to play with, and then also like my own Minecraft maps on Xbox. Yeah, what's up?
Do you still have Nerf guns?
Nerf guns? No, I sold them all. Yeah, I know. Stuff.
I donated mine.
You donated yours? Yeah. I might have done that. I wasn't really entrepreneur focused. So I thought it was good. But I've been like just having people at my house or just bringing people together just because I found joy in bringing my friends together and like having fun with them. So I've been planning events indirectly for like 10 plus years. This past August, I graduated with a degree in computer science at the University of Cincinnati, UC. There, I was the president of PASO, what Owen is president of now, for about 2 years, and then I also started the SACE chapter, the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers at UC. So I'm also a community and club leader, and also a nonprofit event planner. I don't know if you guys probably not heard of Asian Natty.
Yeah.
You have? How?
Because they were at Worldwide.
Oh yeah, you were at Worldwide.
Were you at Worldwide?
Yeah, I was. I remember you, the chairs.
Oh yeah, I thought so.
You and your family were working on it. Well, thank you for that. So Asian Natty, what they do in Cincinnati is pretty much try to spread Asian culture by just like large events that we do. So I'm a volunteering lead for that, so I organize all the groups that come and work for the nonprofit for those big events. And it's a huge responsibility because it's over like 200 people sometimes per weekend. So this is just like my street cred for event planning because the focus is art of event planning and leadership. So I want to just provide some pretext. When I graduated this past August, I was a technical product owner at Fifth Third Bank. You guys at Fifth Third Bank in Toledo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I quit my job like a month ago.
Yeah, Fifth Third Bank owns the
Our field.
the baseball field.
Oh, really?
Our minor league team.
They own our what's it called, basketball court? Yeah. So they're a pretty big company, white collar job, but I just couldn't do it, so I quit my job to pursue this idea of an event, which I'll go over. I like watching anime, MMA, video games.
Favorite
Typical.
anime?
I can only give you like top five. Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, One Piece,
That's a good one.
Berserk 97. That's four. That's another one. Mob Psycho.
That's a good one.
What about you?
Seven Deadly Sins. It's
After
the
it?
only anime I've ever watched.
Did you watch it fully?
Yeah.
I heard it like chopped as it went on.
My crush was that one girl that Meliodas dated.
Elizabeth or whatever? Do you know this hero?
She was hot.
And then here's my team. Two of them are here. I think you guys met JD and Mikey, but the ones running around with light bulbs and a camera.
Oh
Getting
yeah.
covered. Yeah. You guys took a picture with them earlier. But that's me. This is Invent. So what we aim to do is build a simple, free-to-use platform connecting people with affinity groups and interests by empowering the leaders in event planning. If you think of like all the platforms you use today to market your events, they're not designed for them. Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn. They're removing the sense of community and just people connecting with people, like the whole idea that Facebook started off of. Like Mark Zuckerberg wanted just to connect with his friends easier. But they've gone off the rail. Like you see girls dancing on reels, ads. I mean, nothing is people focused about Instagram. I won't say nothing, but like you can see if you've been on the platforms recently that they're taking away just the idea of true engagement. So that's what we aim to do, because we believe that more and more people are starting to detest what social media is like and how it makes us feel today, right? And lots of apps are going to be more focused on people. So we're trying to be a part of that wave by helping out student leaders like yourselves plan better events. This is like the admin planner view. Helps you keep organized with the events that you're running throughout like the month or active events, and then also you can see tasks per member. And there's a lot of other things that we're doing research on using, Toledo and SACE stuff to drive the development. Yeah.
With your app, would you be able to like cater it towards like scheduling and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Like for like say if I'm the owner of a business, right, and I want like all my employees to like have one app to where they can all like communicate with each other, would that be able to like be used for that?
Like I would say, because it's more like club and community focused. I wouldn't say it's like business focused, but definitely there is like communication aspect involved, because that's a huge part of being a student leader. You need to connect with the people. You need to meet deadlines. So or there's like a chat thing. So yeah, definitely. Do you guys have like a event discovery, campus discovery website? We call it Campus Link or Info UC, where we see all the clubs.
Oh yeah, we have our InfoNet.
How is that?
Horrible.
Horrible, yeah. I've talked to so many schools.
Oh my god, it's so hard to navigate. Even like on the admin side, I hate using it because there's like a million links and half of them don't even work.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get to a form and it's like not found. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm emailing.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Actually?
Yes.
In August, we're gonna be launching. So
Oh wait, you
gonna
guys
be-
haven't launched yet?
No. I started like this a month ago, 2 months ago.
What's your
A year ago.
What's your
Or
company?
yeah,
What's your company valuation?
company valuation in the millions. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but like we project like millions of users in the next 3 years, just from our.
Do
I can
have-
give you my pitch if you want later.
Do you have
if
a-
time?
Yeah.
Take a pitch deck.
Do you have a pre-launch?
Pre-launch, yeah, we have like a beta program. I mean, it's more like alpha state right now, so Jillian has that. We can bring it.
Planning anything right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're still developing like the full tool, but that's Invent. This workshop's not around Invent. I'm just telling you guys that event planning and leadership is something that I'm really passionate about, and using all my skills, all my street cred, all my experience to kind of
Street cred?
yeah, using my street cred of event planning to create this app and provide value to the world. So yeah. So like this is the general user side, like replacing
InfoNet.
InfoNet.
Yeah, it does look similar, but it looks definitely. Yeah.
Really? Okay. It's not
Better.
mobile too. It's on like.
It's just a website.
It's a website.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not even
that's
an app.
so. I hate just apps that only run off a website. It's the most pointless thing of all time.
So you've probably seen this picture before if you've heard of the word bayanihan. I shove it down UC's throat. Pause.
What is bayanihan?
Well, we're gonna get into that and discover that together, but right here you have a Baha'i Kubo. Baha'i is foam. In Tagalog, Kubo means cube, so it's like easily transportable. So you got like all the Filipino community, all the men picking up the tree, not the tree, the home and moving it. But there's so many different versions of this picture that is used to describe bayanihan. So what do you think bayanihan is? Using your previous.
Home where the heart is.
Kinda. So bayan means country, town, home,
Oh, to
motherland.
be a home?
To be a country. So a lot of other clubs are named like Kababayan, KBB. That just means like fellow bayan, so fellow country person. So it's like, oi, pre, Kababayan. You see somebody on the street that notices that you're Filipino, you read like Filipino or something. You said you would.
Sounds so
Dude,
good.
I want a little bit of so. Oh my god, we have the leftovers in the house.
You have Jollibee too.
I know, we're going to Seafood City.
Okay.
Wait till we get back to the hotel.
So bayanihan legitimately translates to be a bayan, but in this contextual format, it's the Filipino spirit of communal unity, collaboration, and helping out one another. So this is the picture used pretty much to describe what bayanihan is. Filipinos, we love community. We love to help.
Yeah. Filipinos are like, I swear out, like the nicest people.
Yo, welcome. Hey, what's up? Take it, you're Josh, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you. We just talked about, welcome to our closed and intimate session. Did an intro, talked about me a little bit and my street cred of event planning and leadership, right? The app that I'm trying to build is my company, and I got 2 people in my marketing team here to kind of do some more outreach. I don't know if you saw them at the night market. Were you guys at the night market before? That's them. They were running around with a light bulb, but now we're talking about. You guys know what bayanihan is? Okay. Don't. Alright, what do you think?
Shit.
Do you know what bayan means?
No, I don't know a lot about the cultures.
Okay, so bayan means. Are you Filipino?
Yeah.
Okay. Bayan means country. And it translates to be a bayan, be a country, be like a community. So in this context, we're using it as the Filipino spirit of communal unity, collaboration, and helping out one another. It's kind of like in our veins to be a bayan. I feel like it's community focused as Filipinos. So we're trying to leverage that and use event planning and leadership to invoke this spirit of bayanihan. So the goal is to empower student leaders, yourselves. Everybody's a leader, everyone's a student of something. With the tools and right mindset to create impactful events and build stronger communities, because we know that people are the heart of every community, but what keeps that heart beating, what keeps that heart alive is the act of bringing people together, right? As we're doing today. So this is like a little mini event. It's important to have events for your communities, right? So, what makes a great event, y'all? I think, okay, yeah, we can just, no pairs, no pairs.
What?
I was expecting more people, but. Yeah, what
I
makes a
say
great event?
food and social people,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly alcohol.
Yes. We love alcohol.
Anybody else?
Agenda, like you have value to take away.
Value. Mr. Paso?
Mr. Paso. What makes a great event? Just in the sense, a person gains something out of it, whether that's an experience, friends, full tummy.
What did you say?
A full tummy.
A full tummy.
Miss FAA.
Miss FAA?
I would say just getting a sense of community from it. Always making your attendees feel like they belong there and they're part of the family that the event is creating.
Mm-hmm. Safe environment, right?
Very good food.
Miss PSA?
I would just say anything that gets people engaged.
Uh-huh.
So that could be like all the stuff we talked about, like food and stuff, but I think just anything that gets people to show out and participate.
I feel like we all expect free food and meetings.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
go to
mean,
like a school.
if I'm going to a party or some sort of social gathering, if you don't have some sort of sustenance there, I'm and that I'm bringing my own. I will bring 10 boxes of pizza if you don't have food. Can't have people together and not have food.
Alright, we're gonna go into some frameworks of event planning. This is stuff that I personally use for planning events. Does anybody wanna guess what the P is? It's not penis.
How do you know? Wait, what about the other one? The opposite. Place, product, promotion.
Good guess.
People?
Okay, that's one of them. People's one.
Forgot about that.
Purpose is one of them, actually.
What about place?
A place, I guess.
Place is, it's integrated into like the third one.
Planning.
Planning process is process. So purpose, people. You guys actually got it. I was like expecting.
I named like 3 P's of marketing.
Yeah.
Sending my price.
So the first pillar is purpose. So why does this event exist? Like what goal do you want to achieve out of the event you're putting on? Worldwide gala, pie contest, the pie.
That's what you associate this with?
It's like the what's it called? Speed dating. I remember my sister getting auctioned off.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
That's so
So what's like the purpose of that event? You wanna boil down and understand what that is. So how do you also measure success? Is it people that show up? Is it the way people feel at the end after you send them like a feedback form? Is it just like general vibes of your like planners? You know, how do you measure that success? And then what impact do you want to have on your people, community, campus, and just others, people? Yeah. Cool. That goes into people. Who are the key people involved? And like, you think of our exec members first. Like they're the ones like planning the whole thing. But there's also people like event services or like building supervisors that you need to know who are involved. Maybe you have a speaker for a time. Who are the key people involved and what are their roles and responsibilities? This is a big one, the roles and responsibilities. It's hard to get to as an event planner. And then how do you ensure engagement within the people that do attend your events, but also like that engagement and motivation with your team? I'm losing you. I thought you were sleeping.
I took a nap in my last one.
Okay, we're almost done. Alright, last P is process, pretty much planning. What key logistics are needed? I mean, it's just like planning what exactly is going to happen during the event. What do you need to fuel whatever is happening during that time of the event? How will you promote and market your event? That's usually like on Instagram, LinkedIn. Hopefully invent in the future, you know what I'm saying? And then what are the contingencies? Shit always goes wrong when you're planning or executing an event. So just being able to communicate what you think is gonna go wrong and what to do when it happens is very important. Or else your team's just gonna be like running around with their head cut off. So contingencies is a huge one in my opinion. Those are the 3 pillars, right? 3 P's. No penis? Alright, moving on to leadership. There's another framework. There's not like really a framework or a way to remember this besides like the 3P acronym. Micromanaging. You said it's in your blood. That's like, we're talking about delegating versus micromanaging. Micromanaging is good in some senses. Like if your team member is new, and they need to learn about stuff, like it's good to micromanage and sit behind them and like walk them through the steps. But when it comes to more experienced people on your team that have been doing it for a while, you want to be able to delegate and spread out the wealth amongst your team, or else you're going to get stressed out. And if you're the president and you're stressed out, the whole team is going to get stressed out. So being able to remove that responsibility from yourself is also a place of strength, because sometimes we don't like, or we often try to take up all the work by ourselves, and that was something that I was very keen on doing. Like I was having trouble with delegating stuff when I was the president of clubs, and that ultimately like led to communication errors, people unhappy. So be sure when to use micromanaging and delegating. This is about the contingencies part. Staying adaptable when things go wrong, right? You don't know what's gonna happen if the caterer doesn't show up, or you don't have napkins, you don't have cups. Like, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna get that stuff to make the event keep going? Communicating openly is a huge part. Keeping open communications, like not just event-related stuff, but also like personal life stuff. We're all volunteers at the end of the day as student leaders. We're doing this because, I don't know if we found like a home in the community that we joined and we wanted to give back, or for resumes. I know people join clubs for like a resume builder, but we're volunteers at the end of the day. We have a lot of other shit going on, so being able to communicate like your boundaries within your team is very important when it comes to like shit hitting the fan, where you guys have to be adaptable, because it just leaves a clean atmosphere, clean environment for people to work together in. And that leads to fostering collaboration, making sure that your environment is like open for like any new ideas. You don't want anybody to feel like shut out when it comes to bringing ideas to the table, because I mean, they're there for a reason. They're volunteers, they're there to help, so let them help. And also just keeping up that idea of motivation, because when we were planning worldwide, there are times later in the year, because it's like a 6-month process. It gets really quiet sometimes because people are working really hard and very stressed out. So you gotta be that beacon of motivation as well. So it's about being a leader and showing that your tone is happy, right? All right, this is for you guys. What's the hardest part about event planning? 3, 4? Yeah.
Not getting people to coordinate properly.
Not getting other team members to communicate with other team members properly, so.
Let's also talk about how we like flipped it on its head and made a solution for it. So, what'd you say?
So like a breakdown in communication, so.
How do you go about solving that?
Some sort of ways we started, planning like we used earpieces during the event to help foster better communication, and just that idea itself brought into the like perspective of we have to continue communicating no matter like if I'm doing something and I'm quiet, like I'm not telling anyone, I need to let everyone know that like, hey, this is getting done, so that it's not under the false impression of he's not doing anything. So the communication of actually doing your work helps foster more communication from others, like, oh, I'm also doing this as well.
So it's like a way to lead by example.
Yeah, so like, at first it feels like, oh, no one's doing anything, but in reality, we all are doing stuff, we need to communicate that we are. So, yeah.
What would you say? Not getting people to do stuff?
Yeah.
Do you have any ways to combat that?
I just say proper motivation tactics. Yeah, and then
Like money?
Not-
Dangle money in there?
I don't wanna say money.
Food?
Maybe
Free dinner?
some Monopoly cash. But no. Like don't try to rule with an iron fist. Rule with a golden heart instead. Like Kira, like when she's ruling, like she's just like ruling with an iron fist and like, you need to go here, you need to do this right now. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to go there. And then so I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it, right? But if she's like, hey, could you just do this for me real quick? It'll help me out, and then we can get that finished, and then that'll complete this task. And I'll be like, of course I will do that. But no, instead she's like, you need to do this right now, or else I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that then. But no, she's normally the latter. She's normally like, hey, could you get this done real quick? I'm like, yeah, sure. Sometimes she can be the iron fist, and that's exactly how my mom is sometimes. And so, yeah, I just feel like by ruling and treating everyone as equals as well, and not like acting like you're above them, I feel like that can also be another big thing that can cause distress amongst teams. So if you treat everyone as equals, like if I'm the owner of a restaurant, right, and I'm treating everyone else like they're all like I'm not that they're equals to me because I own the place, but like I'm equal at their level, because at the same time we're all doing the same job. Or I'm doing no more, but we're all doing the same job. We all have the same goal in mind at the end of the day. And so I just feel like ruling as equals and ruling with a golden heart instead of an iron fist and liar. So
Humility and golden heart, pretty much. But there's like, I want to be like devil's advocate too. Sometimes you have deadlines. Sometimes you
yeah.
need to.
I mean, there's always sometimes a point where you have to put in that sense of urgency. So you kind of have to bring the hammer down. But like I feel like if you just bring the hammer down every day, then when
Yeah.
that deadline comes up, nobody ever
Yeah.
really wants to do it. But if you know, if people know, hey, this deadline's about to come up, or else that hammer's gonna rain hell on us, then it's like, okay, now we understand the sense of urgency, and like now we understand the consequences. So it's like, you actually, like, you don't have to experience that every day, so when the deadline does come up, it's like, oh well, what's new? Like, you know, it's like actually like, okay, we don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? So I feel like that can be
Yeah.
very big thing.
Leadership is like scale. It's like a balancing act when you want to use the hammer or
Yeah.
just that golden arm. So
Yeah. She
Very
always
smart.
brings the hammer down.
yeah.
She's always yelling at me. And then she hits me sometimes. Expecting me in the car today, she was like, hey, I'm gonna punch you right now. I was driving. So she's gonna punch me. Cause I was driving
And that's
Sounds like a
your-
great sister.
quote unquote crazy.
She sounds like a great sister. Anything else? Anybody else?
I would say like a difference in care and motivation. Like one person is giving it their all, and then you have someone that doesn't even show up to meetings. And I think making it more of a team effort helps that. Like looking at the bigger picture and being like, each one of us is part of a working machine, and if one of us isn't putting in as much effort as someone else, it's not gonna work correctly, and it's affecting others, not just yourself. And like also just being like, hey, I understand that you can't give this much, but can you give me this much? And meeting more in the middle, because I know I've had that issue
Oh, definitely.
on my board.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I feel like one of the harder parts, just from my experience, is pressure. Especially just with like some of the big events such as PSA's Mario or Worldwide. Like that event people look forward to like throughout the whole year, and it means a lot to them. So like kind of just like that pressure, like the weight of responsibility, especially for that team.
Yeah.
I feel like can just kind of just like crush them, and like just with everything else with school also going on, it's just I feel like it can be overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
So like I try to encourage like just check-ins or just daily like how we're doing, things like that.
Oh, that's really good. Cause sometimes like you go into like an e-board meeting and like it's
Yeah.
just like quiet when you walk in. Sometimes you gotta like, lead first, walk in with like a happy,
Great attitude.
and like it's gonna be okay. Like it's in like a month, but we got this. So even though maybe in the back end things aren't working as well, but just in the moment it makes people feel like accommodated.
Having proper motivation.
Yeah.
And just like knowing that everything's gonna end up falling in place. I feel like it's a good mindset to have. Cause like if you keep doing what you're doing, you know, everything will just, it'll work out. You know, then you don't have to worry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay. What's up?
Hey.
I think we're getting into our
Was it?
Yeah, that was a little late.
Invent team. You wanna introduce yourself? How was it? How was the night market?
That was cool.
Cool.
I'm JD, I'm the chief marketing officer.
Oh yeah, you guys are running around the light bulb. I understand the light bulb now.
On this one.
Oh, yeah.
On this one.
You know. Yeah, light bulb. Alright. What time is it? 2:33. Like 20 minutes. We're gonna form, I think there's two groups. I'm gonna count everybody. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Wait, am I one?
Yeah.
Oh, that means we're together.
Alright. So, we're gonna spend like get in your like little circles after us.
No, you
too?
can-
Yes.
Are you one? Yeah, you're.
You come over here. Hey, you come over here. So
You already sold me, you already sold me.
Yeah, Ryan, there's the girls.
Oh, the girlies are in one? I did not mean
The
to do this.
girlies.
I did not mean to do this.
Oh.
Cancel already. Alright. So, we're gonna spend 5 minutes just coming up with a new club that's not Filipino related or now even gender related. So, something you guys gotta get to know each other, talk about interests and stuff, but after that, we're gonna just say our club and then I'll get into the next part. So, I
I say
Okay. What I guess interested in.
So it's a club, right?
I was like, I can't think of anything not school or work related.
All of our
I used to
meetings,
swim.
everybody
I can do.
It's always food with you, bro.
I'm hungry, right?
Bro, you spent like
So,
10 minutes talking about
I'm like always food and nutrition. That's what I study.
At first it was
So, what about you? I'm in English.
We talked about
Writing. Okay, this will be hard.
Yeah, every Saturday at like 4 o'clock.
Dude, that's a bad day, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you
Football, yeah.
Every other third.
Wednesday.
Once a month on
book
Thursday.
club. You should probably switch it. That's what I do. Other than the book channel, I love reading so much.
Alright,
Really cool. Yeah.
twice a month.
Okay. I understand. Yes. So we're gonna figure out who, what, when, where, and food.
6
A little
o'clock.
later.
Wait, does everyone have their clubs?
No, whoa. That was not 10 minutes.
5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes.
Bro.
I was 2.
You guys haven't, do you guys have something yet?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Do you
do.
want us to
Really
go
do.
towards a specific type of book genre? Like a favorite book genre?
I like read cookbooks at the
Okay.
moment.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, I think we need it.
What are your clubs? What's your club?
Thinking of a book club.
Everybody
club?
brings in something
Okay.
on the food that they discover.
The next part, I'm gonna ask you guys to create like a first event, and then you should probably read this graded to note that. But come up with who,
Just hang out.
what,
and
where,
last
when, and
20
really food,
minutes
because food is
would be the
expected.
social hour, and then place
Be ready when you guys are gonna, maybe all of you guys, present the book club in one event.
Of course.
You guys
Yes.
College
Okay. So like, our people,
Yeah.
do you wanna target with people who read school or people who don't read? Because I feel like when people, when we talk about books, a lot of people like who wanted to read but they don't have time to read. So that would be like an interesting.
Now we're
did not
gonna
pitch anybody.
What if we did an event or like
So,
we,
we are.
hold on, I'm finding it. Like a book club and also a cooking event, so that takes care of food. And also another like point of learning. And then you could do like a fantasy book like about like
first event,
cooking.
or like the who, what, when, where, what. And we're gonna
Have you guys
You guys
seen,
can as a team, like,
like
present
when I went to the library, there are some books that
Like, pitch
inspired
it.
by this movie, this
Mhm.
book inspired by that
us, what we're
fantasy
doing,
book.
what we're doing.
Like if we did a book club that cooked like the food in the books.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That would be so,
That's
I
gas.
would join
That's
that.
gas.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
Reading
Whatever
that. That's what I'm saying,
your-
cookbook. I
your-
love
Every
that.
year,
Yes.
Really spell that.
Why so much chocolate?
I need to start this.
I know.
This sounds like so much fun.
Like,
Nobody's gonna.
so, final word.
Epicurean.
Yeah, the most popular is Trick book.
That's not the right one. Dude, no.
Bro, no, event. You can talk about it
Get
later.
out of here.
I'm only thinking of movies.
And like Link, yeah. It could be a
Wednesday,
movie that was
Yeah.
that had a book too.
Right,
Like
Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter. They have.
All I'm thinking about right now is the movies for
Yes. All I can think of is like those like Disney ones.
That would be nice.
Wednesday.
So our audience will be people who have watched that movie and they
Yeah. I feel like our first event is like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good place to like start.
Okay.
Always has to be.
Bro.
Ask me right now. Ask him what that means.
Hey, what does
All of the
Epicurean mean?
Disney movie has
What
to
does
have a-
Epicurean mean?
I think Snow White has that book.
I don't know.
See, and he's the smartest guy I know.
I'm not this one.
He doesn't even have food.
Most popular Disney movie.
Like, hey, whoa. I get you.
You want food?
That was yours?
Don't get him
Oh.
I'm just thinking of like they make like the soup together.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sounds so good. We didn't get to eat.
I know.
We went to a night market and it got, and I was expecting like more like maybe like food.
It was just sweets.
Yeah, and I was like, then we were coming here, so I'm like, we don't have.
Yeah.
We're gonna have that dinner.
Alright,
You know, how does, fuck told you that?
Okay.
Dude, that's like,
So we're doing
Google
that has
Google
food.
search.
Where was I? Give me a scientific way to call
I
myself
would-
food.
Yeah.
I would say like that.
They have the big.
Alright, look.
Yeah.
So you live the first event, it's gonna be like popular.
Right. You ate that. You ate that.
Student
Okay.
meeting coming
Hi,
soon,
sorry.
baby.
Mhm.
Foodie club meets.
Free.
Everybody brings something to eat. And they'll just have their choosing their favorite food. or
What,
something
what,
that
do you
has
know a
something
specific
to
dish in Harry
Yeah,
Potter?
what if I come? I'm like
We can
interested in the
promote.
film.
It's not that big of a deal.
Like
Just-
picking a
We're-
certain
we're-
one?
It reminds me.
What
No, I went to.
All I'm thinking is
What if
burger.
I didn't?
Me
I
too.
was late.
Yes.
I mean, starting out with
What if
a
someone's
drink
allergies?
would
They
be
can't eat that.
Yeah.
warm up into it.
Heavy with
I feel like,
Yes, so we're doing
I wanna
foods
figure out
and
something
food.
that you can eat. That doesn't have
It's
to
a
be
club
really
that
hard.
cooks.
Yeah.
Is it like
For
the,
example, I'll bring her in.
is that what you're
a
like?
cheesy
More of like
bacon
a.
food.
Or like an actual book?
Yes.
Of my
You know
food.
those like the videos where they're like cooking every food that in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
movie. We're gonna do a
Everybody
book
comes
for like
with
the book.
designated dish.
Inspired me.
Do all ours.
And then you can like talk about the book while you're like cooking.
Yeah.
We put our last name, we put our first name. Put your email, you send it out, I make a consolidated spreadsheet
Of what?
of everybody's names listed alphabetically, and then we will assign different sections of the alphabet to different food
Mhm.
groups, right? Everybody brings it
What if
out.
I don't like the?
What if I don't want, what if I don't have the means to cook?
What if I don't like cheese?
You don't have to cook.
Chinese food?
There's like a
Go
kitchen
with
in, or like at our union, there's like
Oh
a
my
kitchen
fucking
in
god,
the
it's
basement.
not that
What if I don't have any?
Like Open Republic, like
It is not that hard to bring food.
Can
Stop
I-
complaining
That
about
That would
that.
be so, we don't have that.
Are you on keyboard?
Yeah.
This is
like-
your first time.
Cause we've done like, like
It's not that hard to
baking
bring
stuff
food.
for, we have
Really
Asian
not.
night
It
markets
is
and stuff,
hard.
we always have to find a kitchen.
Yeah.
Like the one year we did it in our friend's dorm, the next year we did it at
Just
our
sit
other friends, like,
Are we gonna make
Go get
this
it.
up?
Yeah.
It's like
We
that.
might have to make a new club,
Yeah.
guys.
it was so fun, it was just like a
Alright,
headache
y'all
trying to figure out like where to go.
Yeah. I feel like if we're
Just a heads up, everyone. The next part is like how will you execute it, so don't focus on that. We're just focusing on the club name and what your first name is.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
I'm not
I
good
mean,
with
we got
names.
3 more minutes until 10 minutes.
Read and eat. Eat or cook.
Unless you-
There you go.
Oh, that's an hour, hour and a half.
It's like-
I don't know, dude, only an hour.
It's like, this is.
That's a long. Fucking shot. Alright, so we all meet, 7 o'clock. Oh my god, that's on them. He's not the president. That is on them.
Okay, so what's the purpose of this club?
Yeah, we gotta.
What is the purpose?
The purpose of this club is to bring people together,
Something like
to be able to bond over.
combined together. It's called reading.
Food.
Reading.
What if I don't like food?
EAC.
That sounds like a fucking you, bro. Get out of my
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not dying. Yeah. What if
Yeah, what if it's Ramadan?
Tough for them, we don't have to have Muslims.
Oh my
It's at
god.
7. It's at 7. They can eat it.
Sun's still up. Sun's
What
still
the
up.
Oh
hell?
my god. I'm done. Can I be a singular
If you want a picture on 10, yeah, I'll leave it.
Bet, y'all are on your own.
Cooking with bookworms,
Hey,
I feel like that sounds kinda gross.
What is that?
Cooking with bookworms, I feel like that sounds kinda gross because of the word worm.
Alright, you're group 1, 2, and then 3, and then we'll roll the dice.
Oh, you're splitting for
Sounds like.
No, I won't split. You guys
Hold on. Let's.
Alright, but you're gonna be
Let's
on
chat
the front
GPT on
line.
it.
If you keep arguing, I will split. You guys don't have
This,
nothing.
but I'm telling you, I'm asking you things you need to actually.
keeps trying to get me to connect so he can-
Bro.
Dude, dinner's going to be certain. Like, food's gonna be there the entire time, so they can eat.
Do you know how much
after
food costs nowadays?
Bro,
Where's the funding coming from?
everyone's bringing in their own thing. I'm
So
not
there's no.
bringing.
Okay.
That sounds like a you issue.
Okay, this is sounding like a lot of you issues here.
Bro, coming from a guy in a polo.
Same guy that's spinning for food.
Alright. I'm split. I'm split.
Literary bites is kinda cute, I'm not gonna lie.
I have my whole idea.
All it is the club and then the first event.
Literally,
I'm
book
using
is pretty
these
cool,
5 Or what?
But I like
We'll do
I
like a
like
comedy
both.
club where the first event we just roast the shit out of
I want to join this club.
What was that?
How do I join?
I don't know.
Just sign here.
I'm not a club.
Are you guys
Just
ready?
follow it.
I'm gonna ask you.
Are you guys gonna keep arguing? Are you gonna keep bringing up bullshit ideas? Because I don't need funding. Everybody's bringing their own food. It does not cost that much. $50 bringing a pizza.
Bookish
I don't
rights
know.
is cute.
Fuck.
Yeah. We combine them. Yes.
But what's that gonna be
Okay.
if there's
Get a
50
name.
members? What's one
Yep.
pizza
We
gonna
got what are we doing?
Each
Yeah.
person
We
is
got
bringing
that.
in something to
Where?
eat.
I'm telling you,
Or
no
just
one's
like a
hungry.
yeah, just like a
Alright.
yeah.
Alright.
Imagine that place.
Yes.
Actually.
It's
Alright,
true.
we're good. You guys ready?
Yeah.
When?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys all in one group?
Yeah.
Or you guys keep arguing.
Weekday
Right.
night.
You guys are
like
heads.
regular club meeting.
Tails.
Me.
Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Tails, you guys go first.
Alright, go ahead, Joe.
Alright.
Oh wow, we're like actually pitching.
If it's the I guess so. We have 10 minutes.
It's just like,
I don't want to do an elevator pitch. I don't either.
Alright,
I've
alright.
done one too many events.
Imagine like
Oh,
hosting
I
it
don't
at
think
the
it's
org
10
fair.
minutes. We should all do
Alright, I'm Henry. I'm the president of the new club at U Toledo. We are the Foodie Club. So every Wednesday we host about a 2-hour meeting in the student union conference room B. And every Wednesday we have every person part of the club brings in something to eat. So you RSVP at a certain QR code that we'll post out before our first meeting. Everybody puts their first name and their last name in the Google form, and then we organize that in a spreadsheet alphabetically, and then each section of the alphabet is designated to bring in a certain type of food. And so every week on Wednesdays, it'll be twice a month on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and everybody's each week before each meeting we will email out a list of who's going to be designated what kind of food, and everybody brings in a certain dish. It doesn't have to be big. Like something small, just something to eat to provide for everybody else. Somebody's gonna be assigned drinks. Somebody's gonna be assigned entrees, appetizers, so on and so forth. And so after this point, we all meet together 7 o'clock. We all put our food on the table, and then about 7:15, we all go up and get food. We will dismiss alphabetically, and then we all eat, we have a little bit of a social time, and then we have a speaker each week that comes in and talks, or like something of the sorts. And then after we all talk, there's like a 15-20 minute social time where just everybody just walks around to different tables, and it's like social hour. And then to conclude each meeting, we just all agree on the next meeting, and then for each following meeting, emails will be sent out regarding the meeting, and then most likely we'll have like a reminder, a group me, something that everybody can communicate within the meeting. So if like, hey, this person can text in the group me, we're not gonna be here this week, we won't be able to bring food. And then there's that. And then if somebody has an allergy or a dietary restriction, then they can email me personally, and then we can figure out something to bring in for them to eat. Any questions?
Would you guys join the club? Oh wait, sorry.
No.
Next question.
No. What's your question?
No. I thought you.
Oh no, he doesn't get acknowledged. What was your question?
Yeah, how much of that was everyone talking about it?
Nothing.
Or that was all you
Yeah, that
just
was
made
all.
up on the spot? Okay.
Any questions in the back?
Would you guys join?
I watch it.
Yes.
How do you deal with someone saying don't bring food in and then they don't bring food?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, then I'll talk to them. I'll be like, hey, we kind of need you to contribute to the club a little bit. If this happens more in the future, then unfortunately we'll be asked. That's it.
So if you're inviting a guest speaker, what type of topic then?
Each week it'll be something different. We'll bring in a speaker with a few different topics. I mean, and then if there's not a speaker, then it'll just be a social time.
You could be a speaker, Stacey. Nutrition.
Yeah, we could do like that
We
different.
should do collaboration.
Different
Because,
topics and whatnot. Yeah. Any other questions back there? No. Okay. Cool. No. Actually, no. Caleb, what's your question?
So there's like a 15-minute buffer between the start of the meeting and when the food goes out. So how's that the food instead of warming stuff?
Well, as everything gets brought in, it'll be set in hot trays with the little candles underneath each one, each tray.
assign like each task to each person type of thing?
Like what food will be?
Yeah, I meant more like, for example, you said like keep the food warm. How do you know which person would bring in stuff to keep the food warm type?
Oh, I will, as the president of this club, and then my associates, we will figure out ways to. I mean, either or somebody can. Well, so I do have a few people that supply restaurant supplies tools, and so I know somebody who owns a food warmer, so I can always bring that in before we serve it. So once everybody gets there, because I mean, and then if we have a lot of Filipinos, you already know that they're running late. So put it in the food warmer once everybody's here, then it gets served. Yes,
I have a question for your OT.
How does the economics of this club work? Like everyone's off their own dime?
Pretty much, yes. I mean, you're supplying the food, not entirely.
So what is the club using their club funds for?
To bring in a speaker, set up the room, and get different activities. Provide food ourselves as well, because we're not going to be leaving just food to everybody else. We will bring in a certain cuisine each week, and then maybe even we could theme it like each week there's a different theme for a different cuisine, and then we bring in like a main dish for that cuisine. So like 1 week we'll do Italian, 1 week we'll do Filipino, 1 week we'll do Chinese, so on and so forth.
We won't get into like the little nitty gritty. Alright, ladies.
Can we pitch from here?
Yeah. It's fine.
Okay. All three of us are pitching. We don't have a hierarchy.
Right? And one person.
Hi. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the Bookish Bike Club. So what we're doing is every week or once in a month, our event is reading a book, and then we cook inspired by the book. The first event is going to be Harry Potter book. Okay, go ahead.
It's kind of a combination of like a book club and like cooking night. So we're gonna have, we're gonna like assign a book, and then we'll all read it on our own time. And then like at the end of the month, we'll have the meeting, and we will like rent out a kitchen in like the Union or something, and all of us will cook like the different foods from the book, and we can discuss what happened in the book.
Yeah.
That was really all of it. That was it. Yes.
Alright, where would you get funding for? Like, would you like ask the school for the funding to provide?
Yes,
these
we would
ingredients
apply for funding.
Okay, and then what would you do if somebody doesn't end up finishing the book by the end of the month?
That's fine. Just like reading.
Okay, and then
Having fun together.
They can still contribute.
what do you do with anybody that doesn't know how to cook?
So we're teaching.
It's cooking lessons.
Everyone's
Okay.
like,
Okay.
We teach together.
So one of your teachers doesn't know how to cook, so how do you deal with that?
teachers doesn't know how to cook.
Yeah, like she barely knows how to make mac and cheese.
Not everybody has to know how to cook.
I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. She knows how to cook wonderfully. I've taught her amazingly. She can make a beautiful steak.
And you've reached your limit for speaking for the rest of the day.
Any other questions? Would you guys like to join this club?
Yeah.
I would join the club, but I have an offer.
First.
No, bro.
I have an offer. Could I become a teacher or part of the
No.
executive board?
You would have to apply.
Okay, I would like to put in an application, please.
Okay.
I could.
Neat.
I could
So.
run.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can't guarantee, but it's an application process.
I know how to cook.
He's not a good teacher. We will review.
We got 2 more minutes
That's
left.
what it is.
I'm gonna
We'll
wrap up.
review your application.
Those are great. It's gonna be more like your guys' pitch. I liked your guys' pitch more just because of the fact that they were very short and sweet with it. Like when imagine yourself at like a student involvement fair or something like that. You're gonna get their attention fast and tell them what you're doing. You guys did it really fast.
I had a bunch of questions that I had to deal with.
Thanks for the questions.
But
I had people that were like, yap over here. You still get it. Somebody wants to eat on my pocket.
alright, we're not gonna do the you guys can think about how you're gonna execute the specific event and like the logistics per person, but I mean these are fake clubs. They're just for exercise and fun, so just here's a rundown of the frameworks we talked about today. People, purpose, process are the 3 P's. And then the leadership qualities, leadership, whatever. Delegating and micromanaging, staying adaptable when things go wrong, communicating openly, and fostering collaboration and motivation. You guys want to win $100?
Yes.
Scan the QR code if you haven't already.
I already do follow you on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Follow our Insta, like our post right now. Check your phone.
Wait, so if I like every single post, does that raise my chance?
No.
Oh, it's announcing my birthday, you know, that'd be a
But
great
you will
time.
get our attention.
Let's get a video.
Yes, and we could bring it.
Yeah, we could.
For my birthday.
Yeah, it's
Hey, I just turned 17. I feel like I should.
If I already follow you, do I have to unfollow you and follow you? Like for the pussy raffle.
Use your fence though, call.
Oh, good idea.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Wait, who was there?
Can I get two? Can I get 2 entries?
Yeah.
You were in
Wait,
there?
wait, wait.
Oh, did it?
Oh, you were in
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Okay, a year ago.
Already for.
What?
You guys have 30,
Kauai.
6
Oh,
more.
yeah. Well, you wanna learn?
5
I love
minutes.
doing it.
There
Alright,
you go, it's fun.
who's gonna take me
Wow,
down?
thank you, you.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed.
Woo.
It was fun for like the activities.
I don't know what's next.
Who's in charge of this social media?
Session 3.
Session 3.
They're here.
Yeah, why? Is it, what's wrong with it?
I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Who's in charge?
Both of them.
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. You guys.
Thank you for hosting.
I like every single post I've ever done. I'm about to fart on my way.